Things have certainly changed over the years when you go to the movies. As we talked about at the top of the show, you pay a little bit more or a lot more for your tickets. The movie budgets are bigger, and of course you do pay an arm and a leg for coffee and a soda when you go there.
Yeah, things have certainly changed. Jeff, you're going to take us a little stroll down memory lane.
I wish I lived during this period. Things were just
what you asked for.
So much better. You know, the first thing on the list that we just don't see anymore has to do with a catchy little tune that some of you might actually remember.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Yeah, during intermissions, the projectionist would use that time to change reels, which resulted in a 5 or 10 minute period of dead time. So you would see promotional reels to remind patrons of the delicious snacks in the lobby, waiting for them at the concession stand, and plus, those concessions were pretty cheap back in the day. Something that you see all the time when you go to movies now, you can arrive pretty late to your movie and it hasn't started yet. There's lots of commercials.
20 minutes.
A ton of previews now. Certainly, you don't see these anymore.
The German invading force is speeding to capture Oslo. The blow against Norway is launched. Warships loaded with troops, which they are to land.
Yeah, that would be newsreels. Before TV was mainstream, people got their breaking news from radio or newspaper, but neither one of those sources had moving pictures, and newsreels did. In fact, it was the only way people saw actual film footage of events like the Hindenburg explosion and the Olympic Games. Now, next on the list, back in the day, you could actually go pay 50 cents for not just one film, but two. You would get a double feature. And not just that, you would get something a little extra too with it.
Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house?
Yeah, that'd be a double feature plus a cartoon. Double features were common. Very rarely would theaters show just one film. So what's important to you when you go to the theater these days? Is it the stadium seating? Is it the cup holders? Is it the surround sound? Well, back in the day, they didn't have all that. There was one little thing that really got your attention. Just that, the red velvet curtain.
Really, Jeff?
Yeah, you just don't see the red velvet curtain anymore, but that was just part of the experience of going to the theater. It demanded the best behavior of theater patrons. Wouldn't that be nice if there was something that demanded good behavior so that people wouldn't be texting during the film or spilling their popcorn or kicking your seat or talking during the film?
Well,
Just
they asked
drives
you
me
not to do
nuts.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Turn your ringer off.
And what about this? This was part of the experience too. Uniformed ushers who would actually escort you to your seat. That doesn't happen anymore. You don't see these anymore. Cry rooms. They're in a few theaters still, and actually when I first heard this term, I wasn't thinking straight. I thought, okay, a cry room, I guess that's for people who just can't handle a really sad movie like The Notebook and they're crying hysterically so they have to go in a separate room. No, this is actually for mothers to take their children who were crying during the movies.
Jeff,
Nowadays,
I've never seen one of those in a movie theater. I've seen them in churches. I've never seen a crying room in a theater. I didn't know they existed.
No.
Yeah, no, nowadays a lot of people just let their kids scream and have fits and tantrums right there as you're trying to watch the film.
Sure.
A couple other things that are on this list, ashtrays. Instead of cup holders. I'm glad we don't see those anymore.
Yeah, me too.
You know, people used to smoke on planes too. And then this sign, ladies and gentlemen, kindly remove your hats. That was part of the experience. You would have to go there, you'd have to dress nice, you would have to show a little bit of respect. Nowadays, you can pretty much wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember before stadium seating, me being short, someone like you in front of me,
with a hat?
I'm done.
With
you
a
had
big
no
hat.
chance.
Right, but now it doesn't matter. So
Well,
that's
especially
good.
those hats back in the 1920s and 30s that
Right.
had feathers and were very extravagant. Yeah, you would definitely have to remove those. But overall, I think when you look at this list, it's obvious that things have changed for the worse, don't you think? Except for
In some ways.
the experience of the movie. The experience of the movie is cool. With the sound, the effects, the big budget Hollywood features are often very cool to see. but the politeness
Right.
of the experience is gone.
But the double feature and a cartoon, how long are you in the theater? All day?
Well, the movies weren't as long back then. The movies might be
Okay.
a 90-minute movie, so you'd see two. That's 3 hours in a cartoon. Yeah,
And those
well,
newsreels, they went quick.
And
It's
some
not like
movies
the
are
20
3 hours
Titanic
now.
is, yeah,
Right,
3
good
hours.
point,
The
good
other thing
point.
on the ushers, they used to go up and down the aisle, and they'd shine the flashlight, and if you had your feet on the chair in front of you, they'd admonish you.
Good. Put your feet down.
No rules anymore.
No.
No.
Whatever you want.
You can kick off your shoes and be barefoot.
And some people do.
They do. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Jeff, thanks.